Hey everybody, thought I'd make a video because I got a request on Tested to take a look at the finished bench. This is a flip top tool bench, so I'm just going to do a quick walk around. I found these plans on Woodshop Junkies YouTube channel. The only problem is that he is located in South Africa. So everything, like his measurements and everything, are all in metric, including the wood sizes for like the tabletop and stuff. And the problem is that they can get different size wood than we can get here in the US. So I had to make some modifications to the overall top, and my tools were different than his because I couldn't get the tools that he had. Like for instance, the built-in table saw is a rigid table saw, and he was using, I believe, a Metabo or something like that, which I could not get here. I looked for it and could not get it. And then I did find one on eBay, and I went and paid for it and everything, and then they never sent me the item, and it was a big mess. So anyways, I ended up getting the rigid in a cast iron table for this. It was a pain to get in there. It's about a 200-pound table saw, but I made it work, and I love it. It's a great table saw. I highly recommend it. You can get them at Home Depot, and they're like $700, and it's ridiculously a good table for that amount of money, and it fit in there nicely. So, all right, we'll do a quick walk around here. This is a work in progress, so you guys will have to forgive me. First of all, here we have behind door number 1, this is where my dust collection is at. I do keep the door open when I'm using this just so there's no buildup of electrical or anything like that. There's an auto on, auto off tool set up down there that I use. Oh, we're getting some nice rain here. So that when I turn my tools on, my dust collection turns on automatically. That dust collection tube runs through the table and comes out over here. And then I can use this to hook it up to my tools, and you'll see those here in just a second. I'm probably gonna have to stand mount the camera for a second so that you guys can see how these flip tops work. So we have this big work surface here. It is about 5 by 8. So it's a little bit more than the standard sheet, but I think I might have cut it down to 4 by 8. I can't remember. No, I think it's 5 by 8 because I had to separate it in the middle. The pieces run back and forth this way, 4 by 8 sheets this way rather than the length of the table. So it does have a shellac top on it, and this is just a simple 3/4 MDF top. But the idea there was replaceability. I didn't want to go with like a torsion top and make this thing too crazy. It is on casters so that I can move it around. And we do move it depending on the season. So it depends on, like, if I need it out of the way, I can move it out of the way, especially to clean and do that kind of stuff. So let's look at the first flip top setup here, which is underneath here, I have my miter saw. So we'll set up and we'll take a look at that. Okay, so as I said, the whole idea of having all this workspace was so that we could get the tools out of the way when we don't need them. So that's the idea of the flip top. So this is how that works. We have a little door down here we open up. This top comes off, slides down in the back, and supports right there. And then our saw flips up from there. These 2 locks on the sides, they go ahead and lock this down. If I don't lock that underneath there. And there we go. We have our saw all ready to go. And we're done with that. Just these 2 side clips undone and unlatched, and then it flips down. It's a nice humid day today, so it's a little sticky. And then you just pull your top back out, and you're back. On the other side, we'll take a look at the planer. All right, so the way that this side works is a little bit different. The other side has a pivot point with a steel axle running through it in the back. This has a balance point in the middle because the planer is a little bit different to support. So we have the same latch style system here. We'll just knock these latches up. Open our door. which is going to hit the camera. And then this, the planer side, we'll get these latches out of the way so they don't hit. Then this planer basically just flips, and it's all on a central axis. So boom, just like so. The door acts as a support. So you just close the door, and there we go. It's all in there nice and solid, and you have a full surface to work on your planer. And when you're done with it, you undo your latch. Man, everything's tight today. Go ahead and open the door. Flip your planer back over, just like so. And it's hidden away. Easy peasy. A lot easier than I make it look. And there you go. This area in here is going to be for storage, probably wood, that sort of thing. Not sure if you can see that. But those are the two flip-up tools. All right, working down here to the end of the workbench, we have a built-in router table. This is a JESM router table. I'm still working on this, so it's a work in progress. I've got a quick release vise here that used for wood products, that kind of stuff. A little storage underneath. There's a metal vise converter there that will convert the wood vise into a metal vise. And then 3 storage drawers here for all my router bits and that kind of stuff. Tools are all set up in here, and that's a bad drawer to look at because it's all a mess. And then in the bottom, of course, you can see a little bit better organization. And those tools are all in there. And then I have a few things on the side here, like my sled and, of course, some storage for the saw underneath. The way the saw is mounted is there's a floating table in here. And there are screws on the sides with slots in them so that this can be moved up and down and adjusted so we can level the table. I use a car jack, a scissor jack, underneath here to lift this because it's so heavy. But once it's set, I've noticed like between seasons and the changes of the weather here in upstate New York, it pretty much holds its trueness. I haven't had to make any adjustments to it. And it just gives me a really nice work surface to work on. If you guys have any questions about this build, I'd be happy to share my knowledge and what I learned from building it. It's still got, like I said, it's still a work in progress. So, you know, there's still ways to go on it. I mean, my workshop is always a work in progress. So, all right, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.